Hey, welcome back, multifamily investors. Checking last week's sales is one of my favorite videos to do every week because we get to check a glimpse of what's transacting and what are people buying, how are they buying. Got a VA one here, mostly conventional, one FHA one as well, but you can see they range from 560. It's on the market 4 months, looks like, up to 2.6 million. These obviously in the Seattle area. And look at how quick a lot of these are still selling. Rates are not deterring these buyers. You got 15 people who pulled the trigger. Now, a couple of these are cash. One was a 1031. So let's dive into these a bit. So obviously they don't care about rates for now. This was 2 houses I thought was pretty good price for that area of Tacoma and for the quality. It was sold to a VA buyer, so congrats to them. This one in Everett went conventional. It's listed for $599, sold for $570. I think it needed some work. These are duplexes. This duplex in Olympia was an FHA buyer, sold for full price. Built, I think it was 70s or 80s. Nice townhome style, though. This is very desirable kind of layout to owner-occupied investors or tenants, future tenants. This one in Bremerton was listed for $599, sold for $610, conventional, I believe. This one in University Place was listed for $700, sold for $670. And this one in Puyallup for $700, sold for $675. So fairly close to asking on a lot of these. This one actually sold for a little over $775, sold for $740. Down there in Olympia, East Olympia. This was a 1031 buyer, so it sold for full price. The duplex in North Seattle area, Ballard, Green Lake area, as is. But it did mention it wasn't a tax-deferred exchange. When they say 1031, if you're not familiar with that, it's a tax-deferred exchange. Trading up. This one in Seattle, $795, sold for $790. Just a duplex. This one in Bellingham sold right away. 0 days on the market, it said. So not sure how or why so quickly when it wasn't even full price, but there might have been other terms there. It wasn't a cash buyer either. This one in Linwood sold, it was listed for $875, sold for $955, so over asking. Probably had multiple offers. This one in Burien finally sold. I thought this is a value add opportunity, and I was actually surprised that nobody, it's probably maybe too small for obviously a big syndicated group. But it was an 8 unit for that price, even dated, being that close to Seattle. Burien is just south of Seattle a bit, West Seattle. But to get that many units for that price, this is probably a long-term play here, long-term hold for somebody. But I thought that was probably one of the better deals I saw. And this was all cash sale. List for $1,725. I know the listing agent, Winslow Lee. Congrats to him. Got a cash buyer pretty quickly, I think, on that one in a couple weeks. And then this one in Bellevue, listed for 2.4. I knew that seemed kind of rich at first. I see this price that it closed at makes more sense. This one was not cash. It was conventional, I believe, if I can recall that one correct. But that's for a fourplex on Bellevue, the east side. That's not a bad price. And then this one went all cash for $2.6 million, and it was 9 units. First time on the market, 37 years. So you have it, 15 investors pulling the trigger. Some obviously don't care about rates because they're paying cash or doing a 1031. But most of these other ones were conventional or VA or FHA and still making it happen. So you're probably scratching your head, well, how do I make it happen? Well, that's what I want you to reach out to me and ask, because I can explain how you have to kind of play the longer game and deal with the debt on a long-term vision, right, these days. But they say that rates should be coming down by end of 2024, definitely 2025. So worst case, you buy today and it makes sense and you're locked in at 8. And if it goes down, great, you can refi. If it goes up, then you're still golden if it makes sense today, right? We don't want you to invest in something that's going to bleed you dry indefinitely, but think about the long-term plan there. So anyway, there you have mostly duplexes, not a lot of triplexes or fourplexes or anything that big. A couple bigger ones, but still pretty much everything was under 10 units. So there you have it. Hope that's helpful. Appreciate you watching.